It's me, Auntie Corey. I have a new story here, and it is one that I like because it's a mystery with Minnie, called Mini Mysteries. And this one, I'll be honest, it's a little bit scary. So if you get too scared, don't worry about it. You can just pause the video or go do something else, or have somebody watch it with you, or if you feel brave enough, go ahead and watch it. As you can see, Minnie looks a little bit worried, and so does her friend, Fluffy. Fluffy's peeking through his or her eyes like, oh, I don't know, it's kind of scary. So, are you ready? Do you feel up to something scary? Okay, here I go. Mini Mysteries, The Noisy Attic. Oh my goodness, what's that? Here we go. I'm holding my camera, and so I can't seem to turn the pages. There we go. Okay. Ooh, she looks a little scared, peeking through her fingers. There's Goofy behind her. And Daisy. Daisy's having a good time. Daisy's like me. Daisy likes scary movies. So does Auntie Corey. Okay. Are we ready? Isn't this a super movie, Minnie? Daisy Duck whispered. I should have said, isn't this a super movie, Minnie? Minnie Mouse peeked at her friend. It's sort of spooky, she whispered back. It's supposed to be spooky, silly, Daisy said. It's a ghost story. Ooh, they're watching a ghost story movie. Ooh. Minnie headed straight home after the movie. She was still a little scared. The moonlight cast in an eerie-looking shadow. The shadow cast across the room, and Minnie noticed her floor creaking. Finally, the rain started to splash against the window. Minnie jumped. Oh my goodness. It's funny when the lights are out how things in the dark can look scarier than they are. Ooh, the decorations over her fireplace look like they have eyes, but they don't really. They're just decorations. Okay, turn the page. Oh, I see a storm. And there's Minnie looking concerned. Oh, and the shadow from a tree branch, looks like a hand on the blanket, but it's just a tree branch. So, Minnie felt better once she climbed into her cozy bed. But just as she was drifting off to sleep, she heard a sudden noise from above. Thump! Thump! It went. Minnie sat up, shuddering. Whoa, what was that? She whispered to her cat, Fluffy. Minnie and Fluffy stared up at the ceiling. There were no more thumps. Instead, Minnie started to hear a strange skittering noise. Skitter, 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 skitter. It reminded her of the ghost in the scary movie they watched. The ghost was clanking his chains, and it sounded like that. Skitter, skitter, skitter. You scared yet? I'm a little scared, but I'm going to continue. Ooh. I have to see what's making that noise, Minnie said to herself bravely. See if you're scared, but if you do it anyway, that means you're brave. Minnie climbed out of bed, and she crept towards the attic stairs. As she climbed, thump, 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 the sounds got louder. Minnie shivered in fear. Oh my! Minnie reached the top step and took a deep breath. Who's there? She shouted, trying to sound brave. The noises stopped. Minnie gulped. She pushed the door open and stepped bravely into the attic, but no one was there. Oh, looks like the window's open, though. I wonder what that means. Oh my goodness! What made those strange sounds? Minnie wondered. Suddenly, Minnie caught sight of a reflection in an old mirror. Something white and wispy floated by. What? Right behind Minnie? She whirled around, her heart pounding, but nothing was there. Minnie took a deep breath and raced for the door. How you doing? You still braving this story? Oh my goodness. Here we go. Okay. Oh. Once Minnie was safely downstairs, she began to wonder if she had imagined spooky sounds and imagined the ghostly image. But before long, those strange noises started again. Then the lights began to flicker. They went on and off. Oh no! Minnie gasped. She raced back to her bedroom. She didn't go to the bathroom. That would make for some wet sheets. Minnie raced to her bedroom. What if the ghost makes the lights go out? She said to Fluffy as she hugged the kitten tightly. Fluffy's like, oh, you're squeezing me a little too tight there, Minnie. Oh, I've got to stop this, Minnie exclaimed as she headed back towards the attic. This time Fluffy came with her. Go away, ghosts! Minnie cried. She flung the door open. Again, the attic was as quiet and still as it could be, until suddenly there was a small skittering sound. What? Minnie jumped in fear, only to find Fluffy batting a small toy across the floor. Whee! As Minnie grabbed the cat and the toy, she raced for the stairs. All she wanted to do was to escape from the attic she thought might be haunted. As soon as Minnie climbed into bed, the ghostly noises began again. But with Fluffy purring loudly in her ear, Minnie was finally able to get some sleep. The end. No, I'm just kidding. That's not the end. That would be awful if that was the end, wasn't it? Let's find out what happens next. Okay. The next morning, Minnie could still hear the strange sounds, which didn't seem quite so scary in the daylight. All the same, she decided to call her friend Daisy to see if she could come over. Of course, said Daisy. I'll be right there. Within minutes, she was at Minnie's door. Come with me, Minnie said. She led Daisy upstairs. Did you hear that? Daisy listened. It does sound kind of spooky, she said. Oh. Minnie told Daisy the whole story from the night before. First the sounds started, she said. Then I saw this ghostly-looking form in the mirror, and then after that, the lights turned on and off. Well, said Daisy, I think I can explain the lights flickering. Mine did that too. That was just because of the storm. Sometimes the lights go off during a storm. No big deal. Oh, of course, said Minnie as Fluffy rubbed against her legs. Suddenly, Minnie remembered the toy. It was in her pocket. What's that? Daisy asked as Minnie pulled it out. Minnie stared at Fluffy's toy. Oh, it's an acorn, she said slowly. You know, I have an idea. Maybe we can catch that ghost after all. If we can just turn the page. Ready? Minnie waved for Daisy to follow as she crept silently up the stairs. The skittering noises continued. Skitter, 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 skitter. When she reached the door, Minnie was careful not to make a sound. She reached for the knob, turned it quietly, and flung the door open. And she caught a pair of very startled squirrels gnawing on acorns in the middle of the floor. Oh, Minnie, what you heard was snacking squirrels coming out of the rain from outside, said Daisy. Your house isn't haunted at all. Well, thanks to Fluffy, I finally figured that out, said Minnie. Well, Daisy was a big help. You should really thank Daisy, but whatever, it's not my story. So, with the squirrel intruders scampered out the window, and Minnie noticed the curtains blowing in the breeze. Oh, the fluttering fabric was reflected in the mirror. That's the ghost I thought I saw last night, said Minnie. And that must be the thumping sound, Daisy said with a giggle. The wind was blowing the shutters open and shut, open and shut. Minnie closed the window again. "Sorry, squirrels," she said. "This ought to keep you out." Minnie smiled. "Who knows? It might keep in out a few ghosts, too." The end. Well done. You made it all the way through the scary book of Mini Mysteries, The Noisy Attic. Bye.